Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Jojo
and SHRUTI. What's up, Joe?
What's up?
Listen, how are you doing?
Yes. I'm good. I'm very good. I'm very relaxed.
Are you sawing in heat? Which is it?
It's both. This city. I just
Huh.
can't listen. Just, the thing is, before you land in London, you're like, I'm going to London. It's going to be, it's an amazing city. It makes you feel FOMO like no other place in the world because there's always something you're missing out on. There's too much happening here. But it can't make up its mind about the whether it's time of the year, whether it's time of day. You just don't know what.
So 5 months you're cribbing about it being too cold. 5 months you're cribbing about it being too hot. 2 months you're cribbing about the rain. Or maybe rain is like 12 months.
No, rain is constant throughout the year.
Constant cribbing.
The cold I've been cribbing for 9 months. For 9 months I was wearing a sleeping bag. Like the sleeping bag was my look of the year. So then so that's the day I packed up that puffer jacket and put it away. I was like, summer is here. That summer lasted for 2 days. Then I was feeling cold again. Then I was like, anyway, that aside, right now feeling very hot. So
correct.
I want to go home, but we will get to that later. King was going to come to London, can I just say? And now his tour is postponed.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
I was thinking of going because I was like, why not? Kitne DHH artists aate hain, hai na? So he was supposed to be touring, but it's been postponed, and it'll be whenever it happens, it happens. But now he's dropped the first track of his new album, which he had announced.
After a long time has it come? Like thoda time ho gaya na?
You missed it.
What did I miss?
He dropped a 3-track EP in the middle, which I reviewed alone, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Oh really?
I loved it.
Oh please, I have to listen to it. Okay, done. Today I shall listen to it.
Shayad wo sune. And in that, we just reacted to Adnan Dhul song. In that, I mentioned Adnan Dhul because of the way he writes now from the female perspective. We've discussed this. Wo King ne kiya hai is EP mein, and it was beautiful. I loved how he wrote.
And is it different from Tu Aake Dekh? Is it like a different zone, or is it in that? Because a lot of the songs are in that zone.
It's kind of his Maan Meri Jaan zone, but in a more emo way. Like that is a very happy, romantic.
But Maan Meri Jaan is Tu Aake Dekh Le zone. It is the same zone. But okay, theek hai. I got it. I will listen. Yes.
So
must listen.
So yeah.
Or ye wala. So this is after that 3 wala thing. Now, 2-3 gaane aaye aur abhi aa raha hai.
And that, by the way, was with Bharg. Can I just say, Bharg is like all over.
I will listen to it 100%.
We love Bharg. Okay, so now he has he had announced the album, EP drop kiya, to kind of, now the album first track has dropped. It's called Crown. The album is called New Life. And let's just quickly read what it says. New Life marks a new era in King's career. Okay. And Crown arrives as the foreword to his upcoming project, and reflects King's willingness to address his meteoric rise and the burden of expectations. Okay, because like Maan Meri Jaan is now a global hit, and he's become that much bigger in the
Correct.
Okay, beyond standing out as a grand sonic highlight for the soundscapes of his upcoming body of work, the song's energy and intensity align with his relentless knack to experiment with his musical style. Okay, as an industrial focused production comes into the foray and highlights the raw and introspective nature of his lyrical play while announcing his stake to the crown and fortify his position as India's quintessential new age pop star.
Okay, all claims. I am ready. I'm ready for the song.
So, okay, artist King and Natanya. Lyrics King, David Arkwright, Natanya Lalwani, Miranda Glory. So there's 4 writers on the song. Music producer David Arkwright, composed by King, David, Natanya, and Miranda. Okay, there's a lot of people involved in this. Interesting. Okay, let's see. I thought only King is like written the song. Chalo, let's do it.
Let's do.
So he's positioning himself now as a pop star. Just fair.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Chalo, 1, 2, 3, play. This is champagne talk.
They want me to walk on water, just to throw me in a sink. Everybody points a finger, but they don't really know a thing. Every story has a critic who never steps into the ring, 'cause nothing's as heavy. No, nothing's as heavy as the crown on the king.
राजा ही जिएगा बन के सारी मुद्दतें मैं मेरे जैसा एक तुम बता दो कौन सा जो सामने खड़ा हुआ मिलेगा मिट्टी में आके बारी रात काली पूछे कैसी दुर्दशा ये कैसी दुर्दशा मैं जिंदा में भी मुर्दों में भी नाम मरू कर चुका छोड़ दो मेरी सांसें गड़बड़ा मैं रुका हुआ था जहां से
Oh, okay, wait.
I was
Sorry.
like,
Sorry.
I was like, King is rising,
Battery ran out.
and she is.
It happened at the same time. Battery
Yeah.
gone. Yeah, I
I was like, how is that video affecting you?
I think maybe you should keep a bit of that.
I will. This is hilarious.
Wait. I know.
Okay, guys, something strange happened. So, King's rise caused Miss Bola's
And my
camera.
camera nahi, gimbal, which it's
Oh.
resting on, uska battery went away. So when
This
battery
is-
goes away, the whole thing changes. It's like a,
Oh, and it was so smooth, the movement. I was like,
how am I doing this? How is
How
this
is- no,
happening?
I was like, how is King doing
The
this?
impact of King.
so we're gonna restart from that point. है ना?
Yes,
Let's do that.
correct, yes.
Okay.
Let's do
140 पे. ठीक है, ready?
Yes, ready.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, play.
मैं रुका हुआ था जहां से जिसने आंख लड़ा के पैर रखा जब कहर मचा वो अपने कर्म का राजा बाप घमंड करता हुआ कभी ना थका दुआ देती नहीं रुकती है माँ कितनों की माँ का मैं जैसे बेटा कितनों का भाई और कितनों की आंखों में झांकता फिरता मैं अपना पता मुझे ढूंढने दो आसमान को चूमने दो आज खाक से लाख का मैं उसी बात का जिस बात की शुरुआत का अंत मिले चाहे ना भी मिले मैंने पलट दिया है रुका अब इतिहास का अन्य खुले किसने पढ़े कुछ न दिखे हम तो चले राह पर जिनके न बंदे दिखे खुद ही किया पहले चले देख रहे मुझे दूर से पंजा मार के गिरा दी जिसने ख्वाब की दीवार बोले तरक्की माशूक कलाकारी सच्चा प्यार कहती आंखों में ना झांको राजा हुआ बागी आज हकदार लेने आ रहा अपना ताज
Oh.
Sometimes being late is being right on time.
Okay.
It's a prelude.
अभी मैं चलने दूंगी. I will not finish it. पता लगा end में कुछ.
It's like चिता जल रही है ना. I feel like this is all very symbolic. He's
Yeah.
very, and he's. It started with the champagne talk का वो poster set. And I know that set so well now because it was a case study in my thesis.
अच्छा.
So वो
Okay.
मैं image
हाँ.
use करा है बहुत बार.
Okay.
Hmm.
हाँ. Okay. So now इस गाने के बारे में जरा बात की जाए.
Yes.
कहाँ से शुरू कर रहे हैं?
कहाँ से?
वो जो सब कुछ लिखा था वो मुझे कुछ फील नहीं हुआ. Just saying.
Oh really the
मुझे कुछ
मतलब
फील नहीं हुआ.
अच्छा वो बहुत
मतलब
ही
कुछ
ज्यादा मतलब it's just
मतलब
that
जो
it's
भी था.
energy intensity experimenting with musical
So, and-
style वो तो
yes.
था हाँ
Energy intensity थी.
हाँ.
Experimentation 100% थी.
Yeah, for sure.
लेकिन जो and going away from usually what we're used to seeing King do उससे बिल्कुल हटके था 100%. But वो जो है ना कि King is coming to claim the like you know
Crown.
the whatever the crown and all that वो सब मुझे feel नहीं हुआ like you know वो that zone what they were talking about that didn't come across in that way and also the really aggressive shifts that were happening in the song like they were not smooth shifts they weren't one going into another similar and yet different it wasn't that they were very distinctly different veins which were happening you know and this distinction was very abrupt. Like it wasn't ke aap uske andar ghus rahe ho. So maybe that's a different style, maybe different genre that they were experimenting with, and that's how it's supposed to be. I'm not saying ke kuch gadbad thi. No. I'm saying jo bhi unhone kiya apne aap mein bahut acha tha, but it was throwing me off. It wasn't that it held my attention equally enough to go from one transition to another in such a way where I'm like, wow, immersive. Like, wo immersive experience to nahi hua. Because it fully, like, at least I mean, we'll come to what you felt about it, Joe, but I felt like I got tuned off, and then suddenly I had to kind of like tune in into it. So the way it started was very nice up until the lifting of this thing, and this thing with his white eyes, ki suddenly wo us zone mein chale gaye. Wo pehle bhi, remember a couple of videos where all that expectation. So that is something which is clearly he's obsessed with something of that kind. He wants to do kuch aisa interesting, whatever. So that element keeps showing up in, different videos of his.
I wonder
So
if
I'm
that's
trying to understand.
VFX or it's actual white contacts. What is it? It must be very painful.
वो तो बाद में VFX ही होगा. Like it'll have to
VFX,
be
huh?
like somehow like a effect done later. But what I'm trying to understand is what was the crux of the entire music video? There's audience sitting, there is a person who's performing, they show that, oh, maybe he's forgotten something or he's looking for something, and then suddenly he kind of takes this imaginary whatever air gun out, and but the blaster, like the fire coming out, is real, and everybody runs away, and then he goes into his own zone, which is very cultish, that there are these people around him. So wo sabko bhaga ke apna khud ka cult shuru kar deta hai. Is that what the music video in simple terms was trying? I mean, I'm trying to just kind of.
I feel like he was this is just, and I could be completely wrong, that champagne talk ka opening thing and then him killing a couple of people. I felt like he was symbolically ending his old avatars. Like he was saying bye to his previous sort of life and journey and his persona as an artist. So I felt like that was what was
that's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
Out of any other explanation of it. So yeah.
And also because it's called new life. So for new life, then you're killing the old side of you to enter your new life. So wo mujhe laga, and then I felt like, but yeah, you're right. The execution of it was not, it wasn't clear enough for you, or maybe that is again by design ki aapko confuse bhi karna hai or hint.
I mean, I would think that what they would want to show is that instead of people running away, in his new avatar, he's embraced even more. So, I mean, I would think that even if that's the metaphor one is going for, then the video should have been that even when he starts shooting, rather than people running away, people should embrace him, because that's new. Anyway, again, like I said, we don't need to go into these details. It's an artist expression, which we have seen. And if we just take it for what it is and what was shown, to me, it was a little unclear. Sometimes not being clear actually works, because it makes you think, it makes you get deeper into the song. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Discussion is happening for sure, but it did not. Unfortunately, it's not making that curious, grasping that curiosity when it grips you and you want to like watch more of the song. Literally, I think at half point ke baad, 3/4 pe, to I was sure, I was like, isme jo bhi ho raha hai, ye mujhe gaane se puri tarah dur leke ja raha hai. So the video is so distracting of the song that right now, if you really ask me, gaana kaisa laga, I don't recall, because the video was so hard hitting and there was so much going on in it, and there was so many like abruptness that the song itself has got overshadowed with the abruptness. So I was like, ek minute gaana kya tha lekin? And then bits and parts, of course, I remember the song. I mean, it's impossible not to, right? We just heard it. But it's not leaving that, ek hota hai ki aap sunte hi aate ho, wow, like this is what I want to hear. This is what I'm going to listen to it again. No, that didn't happen, unfortunately. And I can't even say my expectations are to blame. I can't say that, because like, that I was watching a King song after a long time and I wanted a certain thing. No, I was open to everything, because I was just like, King hai, kuch acha hi hoga, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what was your first impression, like when you were, the moment you saw it?
My first impression while reading the thing also, and then seeing the name of the album, and then that whole like enactment of the shootings, I was like, okay, he's trying to tell people that I'm killing my old self and I'm entering my new avatar, which you're gonna see in this album. So that's the message I got over there. I could tell that this is a big budget video. That's number one. It was very obvious. It has been conceptualized, executed, planned, designed, everything in with a lot of detailing and a lot of all of that money being spent on it. So that I like everything from his like styling to the sets to the costumes to everything, right? That happened, and then I feel like there was an intent to dramatize the project, right? To talk about
Yeah.
the project in a sense of reinvention of the artist, in a sense of
Yeah.
entering a new zone as an artist, in a sense of
Yeah.
delivering on now higher and more expectations of him as an artist. So there are so many things which you can call a collective baggage of sorts that one is now intending to address through this prelude,
Correct.
and kind of
Correct.
then through it set people's expectations about the project and the album itself.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I feel like with all those different mini intents making the bigger intent of it all, the video was multi-layered to try and fit all of it in. Maybe that's why it was kind of a lot to consume as a listener. That being said, it is still a beautiful video to watch just because of the production quality of it. So not taking anything away from that at all. And I feel like the second half of it, after the whole rising thing happened and the music changed with a very guitar heavy second half of the track, that was my favorite portion of the track, because not only was it less jarring as a consumer, as a listener, his lines and his lyrics and the intensity in his voice over there was much more smoother to listen to as a listener and to consume. Plus I really liked what he was saying, like बहुत सारी lines उसकी, like punch lines बहुत hard थी वहाँ पे. So वो part मुझे अच्छा लगा for that reason. Of what he was saying and for the music of it, like, and for that I think, you know, David Arkwright would have, like, hats off to him, because even the variations he did, there's nothing bad in them, they were just not very easy to consume as a listener. I would not listen to the first half of that track and feel like it's easy on my ears. The second half
Yeah.
of it, I genuinely really liked. The soundscape there for me was just very unique. And with, you know, like for an artist like King, I've not heard him do something like this on this kind of music.
Right.
So in
Right.
that sense, the
Right.
novelty of it was amazing. I liked it. His lines were really good there as well. And I feel like his message came across a lot stronger on that music. If that music, and I'm just like, I think if that music had been more prominent throughout the track, with of course its little variations, it might have been a smoother listen for me personally. I don't know about you. Maybe.
Like I'm saying, no, that the video was so overtaking
Overpowering.
that
Yeah.
all these things that you're talking about, I kind of
Oh,
fully
yeah.
missed them.
Okay, got it.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And after the first half of it, the second half, I was so like zoned out. I was still trying to figure out.
Oh, so
And
that
with
happened.
yeah, so with the video, it wasn't helping, and I was like, wait. And then by the time I actually made that switch, because video mein kitna kuch ho raha tha, by the time I really made that switch and said, okay, let me not focus on the video and let me focus on the song, tab tak gana khatam ho gaya. So like,
I
it
was,
very-
and also that whole like camera thing of yours happened, so it kind of, but that scene where your camera fell off, that where he's rising,
that I
with
really
the
liked. I was very
white,
into it.
but again I'm thinking ab wo kis cheez ka symbolism tha, you know, there are so many layers to it that you can unpack.
Rising away from, correct, yeah.
So
yeah.
your mind then gets thinking on that line, and the song is going by. You know?
Correct. Exactly. That's what I
That's-
mean. There is so much fodder that happens, no? That you're like, acha, ye kya chal raha hai? Kyun ho raha hai? Kya matlab hai iska? Ye wo. You get like into that and gana chala gaya.
Yeah.
So I will have to listen to the song again to know whether I like the song or not. Actually. Like I'm sitting literally at that spot where I'm like, ek listen ke baad mujhe yaad hi nahi hai gaana kya tha, because wo video mein main focus kar rahi thi. So yeah.
Listen, I feel like big budgets have happened great, and you can tell
That's
the
happened,
product
yeah.
is very clean, and you know, it has finesse. I
Also, can I say something which is very like strange, which I noticed?
Yes.
I felt like King thoda अच्छा से facial करवा के आया था. King was looking like very smooth and like very makeup. वो जो close up आया ना, I
he
was
has
like,
done the
अच्छा.
face masks, the sheet masks. He has
अच्छा.
done
A little trip to the spa has happened. Yeah. Sorry, continue. I had to throw that in.
well done.
Yeah.
No, but he's been shopping. He's been to the spa. He's
Clearly.
been to the salon. All of that. Yes, it's very. That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. It's a very, like, the finesse, the cleanliness
Yeah,
of it,
yeah, yeah.
and the shininess of it is there.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
For lack of a better word. And it's a very well executed video, and the song is a good intro to what he's trying to say. The intent is to say, I'm here to live up to the expectations that people have of me now, and don't think you can put me in a bracket as an artist. Don't think you can box me. You're gonna hear something different every time, as you have in the past, and with new life, it's a new me that's coming at you, so just be ready for it. Basically.
I look forward to the other songs though. You know, I'm sure more songs from this, like, you know, is this an album release? Are there more songs coming from this?
Those
particular
songs
one?
only were the names that were popping up in red.
Correct,
Those were the
red.
names
Yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah.
songs.
Those are names.
So I was
Acha,
like, they're
nice.
teasing the song names of the project. And also, like, you know, the one thing while you were talking, I just realized it's very nice how they've done King and its crown. You see the thing, crown for the king, the
Yeah.
king ka crown.
Uh-huh.
And then in the first few lines in the female voice, the singer's voice, it said that because nothing's as heavy, nothing sits heavy as the crown on the king. So again,
Yeah.
the messaging is very this thing that, you know, it is a heavy burden to bear. Success is not all
Yeah.
it's cooked up to be. The guy has a lot to deliver on, and it can be crumbling for a lot of people, but he is then going ahead and saying it's not, because I am this king and I
Correct.
will deliver. So be ready for it.
We're ready. Bring it.
वो
Yeah.
हो पंजा मार के गिरा दी जिसने ख्वाब की दीवार, बोले तरक्की माशूक, कलाकारी सच्चा प्यार, कहती आंखों में ना झांको राजा, हुआ बागी आज, हकदार लेना आरा अपना ताज, sometimes being late is being right on time. So he's, you know, like the announcement has happened. So nicely done. I think it's nicely done. Is just first listen is very confusing. So shakes your senses. है ना?
Yes,
But yes, the facials and smiles that happened. Very nice. So yay,
Yes.
listen, that being said, I did a whole case study on him and Man Meri Jaan. It was a very important feature of my thesis. And
Oh, nice.
I will have to say that props to him and his team for the way they took something that they thought had potential and made it this big global phenomena. So
Wow.
that just goes to show that there is a great team behind him, and there is a great, you know, like planning an artist career, and the trajectory and all of that takes a lot of planning and
Correct.
proper thought. And with a team that he's got right now, and you can see that they're playing on a different level. Like, you know, there's levels to this shit. They're playing on a very high level, all of them. So props.
More
Well
power,
done.
more power to the entire team and King. Yeah, look forward
Yeah.
to more stuff from
So,
them. Yep.
New Life album, we're looking forward to it. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Let us know when it's coming if you all know, because I have no idea those song names. I will go through later. Chalo, let me know what else we should get to. I hope we see you soon next. I don't know.
I will see you guys in the next session. Regularly, जितना एक महीने बाद जब हम करते हैं उसके बाद.
So we will see about that. Okay,
Soon.
chalo, for now. Yeah,
we'll see.
chalo. Follow her. She's at SHRUTI, bug her over there. Support the channel. We'll see you soon. Live long and prosper.
Bye.